Hello everyone, in today's video. So today I'm going to explain to you all of the mating patterns which are available in chess. Well, if you know any of the chess pattern, you can skip the video and you can use this timestamp for that one, which is available in the description as well as on the video. So let's get started. So first of all, we will study about the Anastasia Mate. Now in the Anastasia Mate, what happens? There is a knight is there who is controlling this two important square and one pawn is over here. If I will do the same mirror image over on this side, so it will be looks like this. Same over here as well, and same on this side, it will looks like this one. Now, this is a position, you can pause the video and you can find it out the mate. And remember, it's a mating pattern, so each and every positions leads to a checkmate. So Queen takes h2, king takes h2, and this is a mate. Over here, the knight and the rook, they work independently. They are just focusing their own work. They're not interfering to the other's job. Next one. Now you have Arabian Mate. In the Arabian Mate, the idea is a bit change. Over here also, you will use a knight as well as a queen or a rook. But here, knight and a rook, they will work together. So this is a position. This position is white to play, and you will find knight c6 is a check. Now the king cannot take it because the pawn is protected. And when the king will go on a8, rook b8 is a check mate. Next position. Next one, you have the Boden's Mate. Boden's Mate, you can remember, it looks like a Caesar pattern. Now, this is the position, white to play, and white will play here the move bishop a6, and there's a mate, and you can find it looks like a scissor. Just a king, it just cuts off, and this mate. Next mating pattern, this is called a Damiano's Mate. In the Damiano's Mate, you will find there is one pawn who is on the knight sixth rank, okay, and the queen comes for the checkmate. So this is a position, this position is black to play. So first queen h4 is the check, then after king g1, queen h2, thanks to the protection of this pawn and this checkmate. Next one, the minus bishop's mate. Over there in the previous position, we seen the pawn is protecting, but here the minus bishop. So which means the bishop will come to the play and the bishop will help the queen to deliver a checkmate. So here the queen takes f2 is a checkmate. Next one, you have Balestra Mate. In the Balestra Mate, you will use a queen and a bishop together and they use the same pattern like a Boden's Mate. You will find they are working like a scissor, but in the Boden, the two bishops are involved, but here actually the queen and the one bishop is there. That is the actual difference between the Balestra Mate and the Boden's Mate. Next one, you have the Blackburn's Mate. Over here, the two bishops are there, but they are working in the same diagonal, not like a Boden's Mate where the bishops are working in a different direction of the diagonals. As well as the knight is also involved. So this position is bishop takes h7 and you can find it's a checkmate thanks to the knight is protecting the bishop and another bishop is controlling the remaining squares. Next one. This is called discovered mate. In the discovered mate, you will deliver the discovered attack on the king and which leads to the checkmate. Now, this position is white to play and white move the bishop on f8. So here, he moved the bishop and the black king got a check from the rook. Now, black has only one move, that is a bishop h4, and a rook takes h4, it leads to a checkmate. Next position, you have this is a counter checkmate, or you can say counter checkmate. Here, you will find that your king is already in the check. Now, you will defend this check as well as you will deliver the check to your opponent and which leads to a checkmate. Now, this position is white to play and white just move his rook back on f1 which leads to the bishop is attacking on the king and there is no other square because of a queen is controlling this one and rook is controlling on f8 and it's a checkmate. Next one, you have the double checkmate. Double checkmate means you use the idea is called double check. Double check, it's involved when the two pieces are attacking on the king at the same time, the single move, and it leads to a checkmate. Next position you have, this is called a back rank mate. Back rank mate is very simple. When you deliver a checkmate on the first rank or on the 8th rank with your rook or with the queen, that is called a back rank checkmate. Now here, this position is black to play, so king will get checkmated. Now there's a position, this position is black to play, and the king will get checkmated by playing the rook on e1. This is a checkmate. Next position you have, this is called edge pin mate. Over here, you use a pin as an edge for you and which delivers a checkmate. Now this is a position, this position is white to play, and white queen first capture on f7, it's check. Now if the king goes on h8, then the queen takes f8, it leads to the back rank checkmate. But black has another option as well, that is a rook takes f7. Now you can see this rook is got a pinned, and now the final blow, this is a rook d8, it leads to a checkmate because the rook cannot move back thanks to the bishop is pinning the rook. Next one you have, this is a queen cutoff mate. In the queen cutoff mate, queen is the whole and soul she plays, as well as she use on a back rank and the side file she controls. Now this is a position, this position is white to play, and you will find the queen moves on d8. It's a checkmate. So she controls the back rank as well as the adjacent file so that the king cannot run away. Next one, it is called side file mate. Over here, the king, you just use only one file to deliver the checkmate. It's maybe with a double rook, maybe with a single rook, or maybe with a queen and a rook. It's possible. So here, this position is black to play. The simple queen takes h2, it's a check. King takes h2, and the final is rook h6 is checkmate. Next position you have is called a smothered mate. In the smothered mate, the king actually the trapped or surrounded by his own pieces, and there is no other way the king to play. And when you play the knight and they give the check to the king, and you can see it's a checkmate. Why? Because the king is surrounded by his own pieces. His own pieces are not allowing the king to move away, and as you know, the knight can jump over the pieces. Knight is giving a check and no other squares to go, and this is called smothered mate. Next one is Greco's mate. In the Greco's mate, what happens? The bishop actually controls the knight square. Okay, if it's like this one. So, for example, the bishop is here, is controlling the g1, or if you place the king over here on this one, then the bishop will control this square. So, bishop controls the knight square. Okay, if you want that, what about the black pieces? So it will be like this one. The bishop will control and it's cut off or control the knight squares, and the one file is open, that is a rook's file. So you can deliver the checkmate with the help of a queen or with a rook. It's a check, and you can see the king cannot go here because our bishop is controlling on g1. This is called Greco's mate. Next one, it is called Lawnmower Mate. In the Lawnmower Mate, you use your rook and a queen on the same file, and you just close one file after another, one file after another. And here you can use two queens or the two rooks or a rook and a queen. The combinations is like this, but you just have to remember the piece, they just close the file or a rank like one by one and deliver the checkmate. Now here you will find that rook g7 is a check. King cannot take it because our queen is protecting it, and when the king will move back, and this is checkmate. This is called Lawnmower Mate. Next one you have, this is called Suffocation Mate. Now the Suffocation Mate is similar like a Smothered Mate, where the knight delivers a checkmate to the king on the edge of the board. However, instead it is other pieces are also involved, those are controlling the remaining square, or you can say the escape square. Now here you will find knight takes f7 is a checkmate, but you will see, hey, the one square is remaining, which is not the opponent piece is there, but this vacant square is controlled by our bishop. So in the smothered mate, the whole king is covered by his own pieces, but if in the Suffocation Mate, the difference is some of the squares are available for the king where your pieces is actually controlling it. Next one is called, this is kill box mate. So in the kill box mate, you use your queen and a rook, and the queen is the one who protects the rook, and you boxed in the king. You can see that inside the king just boxed up, and this leads to a checkmate. Next one you have, this is called escalator checkmate. Now in the escalator mate, what happens? You use your queen and a bishop and are lined up on the same diagonal. So this is check, move here, queen d1 check, king e3, and queen e2 is checkmate. You can see the coordination between a queen and a bishop, which leads to a checkmate. This is called escalator mate because you're just using the queen as an escalator and you're just pushing the king towards the mating net. Next one you have, this is called hook mate. In the hook mate, the involvement of the rook delivers the mate while it's protected by the knight, and it looks like a hook. It's a kind of like a hook. You can see the king is just inside that hook. And of course, the king cannot take it because the knight is protected by the pawn. Next one you have, that is Epaulette Mate. Maybe my pronunciation is wrong. I'm sorry for this one. In this mate, the queen or rook that delivers the mate, while the two escape squares parallel to the king just blocked by his own pieces. And over here you will see this is the mate. So you see the pawns, they're just blocking the king to just run away to the safe square. Next one you have, this is called a Lolli Mate. In the Lolli Mate, there is a pawn who is on the third rank of the bishop, and you use your queen to deliver the checkmate. This is called a Lolli Mate. Next one you have, this is Monorail Mate. In the Monorail Mate, is a similar like a railroad mate, which I will explain to you in the upcoming session of this one. So in the monorail mate, the coordination between a queen and the rook, which is placed next to each other, and they just deliver the checkmate. So this is check, king moves on f8, check, king moves on g8, check, king moves here, and this is a checkmate. So this is called monorail mate. The railroad mate, I will explain to you in this video. Just watch out. Next one you have, this is called a Morphy Mate. Now in the Morphy Mate, what happens? The delivery of the checkmate with the help of the bishop, or you here the queen is there and you just remove the front piece. It's a rook, and here you will find this is a checkmate. So rook is controlling the ring, this square, and the bishop is delivering the check. This is called a Morphy Mate. Next one, we will jump into it. It's called Opera's Mate. In the Opera's Mate, when the opponent king is mated on the edge of the board by the placing the rook or maybe the queen next to the king, and the bishop who is there, who is protecting the rook or the queen so that the king cannot capture of a piece. This is called Opera's Mate. Next one you have, this is called Pawn's Mate. Now, as the name suggests, you just deliver your final blow with the help of your pawn. Now, this position is white to play, and you will find that pawn f4 is a checkmate because this square is controlled by the bishop and f6 is controlled by the rook. Pawns mate. Next one is a promotion mate. Same as the name suggests. You push the pawn on the last line, and this will be the final blow to deliver the checkmate. You see, this is called promotion mate. Next one you have, this is called Pillsbury's mate. by the name of the Henry Nelsel Pillsbury. Now here, what happens, you use your rook and a bishop to deliver the checkmate. So you give the check with the rook, and the bishop is controlling the remaining squares. And the main point is you will find the open file is always the knight file that is be there. Next one you have, that is a double bishop checkmate. Once again, as a name suggests, double bishop checkmate, where you use your two of your bishops to checkmate, and it should be in a same diagonal if it's possible. Otherwise, it will change into a Boden's mate, right? Now you have the railroad mate. In the railroad mate, it involves the coordination between a queen and the rook, which is placed opposite to each other and separated by a single rank or a file. And you mate is like they two are moving on a different tracks. It's like check, king moves on c3, rook c4, check, queen is protecting, so you cannot take it. So king b3, queen c2 check, rook is protecting, once again you're gonna take it, and after the move king a3, rook a4, it leads to a checkmate. Next one you have, this is called seizing a square's mate. Now, seizing a square is a mechanism is found by the sum of the mating sequences, but you will find that actually you are just making a route for your pieces to deliver the checkmate. Here, a lot of pieces can be involved, but actual point is you will find the mating square is controlled, and you use your other pieces not by capturing the bishop, but by distracting this bishop, and later on you capture that protecting piece or the defender basically. So you will find there's a check. Now the king cannot move anywhere, so the bishop has to take it, and then the queen takes b7 is checkmate thanks to the knight is protecting our queen. So this is called seizing a square checkmate. Next one you have swallow the tails mate. The swallow tails mate occurs when the queen delivers a mate against the opponent king while protected by the another piece. It's maybe a knight, maybe a bishop, but in most of the cases, it's always a knight. And you can see it's kind of like a tail, this knight is looking like it. That is the reason it's called swallow's tail mate. Next one you have, that is a queen and a knight mate. Once again, as the name suggests, queen and a knight, they work and by coordinating to each other and deliver the checkmate to the opponent's king. So this is a check you will find, and anywhere the king will go, so this leads to a checkmate, and the knight is protecting, so king cannot take it. Next one you have, this is called X-rays mate. In the X-ray mate occurs when the queen or a bishop or the rook X-raying and protecting the friendly piece of his as well as delivers the check. Okay, so pawn is protecting and you cannot take the rook because the queen is X-raying and protecting his rook, and this leads to a checkmate. Next one you have, it's called Vukovic Mate. The Vukovic Mate occurs when the rook and a knight, they teamed up to mate the king who is on the edge of the board. So this is the position, this position white to play. So this is a check. The pawn is protecting, the king cannot take it. King c8, knight d6 check, king moves to d8, and rook d7 is checkmate thanks to the pawn is protecting and knight is controlling the remaining square of that one. This is called Vukovic Mate. Next one we will play, this is called Dovetail Mate. In the Dovetail Mate, you will find that when the queen delivers a checkmate with the help of the bishop, and it looks like kind of a dovetail, it's a long one, right? The previous one I shown to you where the knight is working as a tail, but knight is a short range piece and the bishop is a long range, so mostly this is a long range piece mate. Next one you have, this is called triangles mate. Now in the triangles mate occurs when the queen delivers a checkmate with the support of the rook on the parallel line of each other by separating usually the one square. Now you will find it looks like a triangle, right? That is the reason it's called triangles mate. Next one you have walking the plank mate. Walking a plank mate describes the situation when the two major pieces, maybe two rooks, maybe queen and rook, are controlling the square by leaving one file alone, one file gap, which is restricting the king to move any of the next files. And the lack of mobility, you can just exploit this fact to deliver the checkmate. So it's a c3 check, king moves on b5, and final, this is a4 and checkmate. Next one you have, this is called threading the needle mate. Now, threading a needle refers to the mating pattern, which is similar to, but slightly more general than the Boden's mate or the double bishop's mate. Over here, you will find just one bishop is enough to deliver the checkmate, and the rest other pieces, they're just controlling this one. So that's it. I explained to you all of the 40 different mating patterns. So go and try against your opponent, and don't forget to drop the comment how you like about this video. Thank you so much for watching.